Hey guys, it's me, Carly, coming at you with another video, and I'm gonna be doing another movie review. This movie is Anastasia, and I just recently watched it. It's a super... Shut up. Sorry, my computer is being... Shut up! Sorry, my computer is just being stupid right now, and it keeps giving up pop-ups, so ignore that. But anyways, I'm doing a review on the movie Anastasia, and the reason I'm doing this is because, one, I was inspired to do this because my boyfriend, Chris, or known here as the Wicked Merman here on YouTube, and Azula Lover 1 on DeviantArt, and Disney Fan Forever 3 on Tumblr, is writing a book about an orphan boy named Noah Reynolds, who comes from a rich family, and although he doesn't know that because he gets left on a beach when he's like when he's a baby, and he doesn't know where he comes from, and he's kind of like how Anastasia doesn't, although Anastasia was 8 when she was put in an orphanage. But anyways, so that's similar because I can't stop listening to the song Journey to the Past, and I just wanted to rewatch this movie because the animation is gorgeous. I absolutely adore it, and yeah, so let's get into the movie. I'm going to talk about the characters first, and then my thoughts on the movie, because I thought the movie is really well done and it's beautiful. Some things I didn't like about the movie were like Anastasia and Dmitri's romance, and Dmitri is an okay character. He's like not the greatest, but Anastasia herself is super funny. I just absolutely love her. Like, her line, she like has the best lines, and I don't normally say that about main characters, but her sass is like, oh great, a dog wants me to go to St. Petersburg, or like how she keeps accidentally hitting Dmitri like on the train when they're going to Paris, and she's like, oh, I'm sorry, and she sees she hit Dmitri by accident. It's like, oh, it's you, so it's okay. And when she first meets Dmitri, he's like checking her out because like, oh, you look like that princess Anastasia, and I don't have a past, and all of that, blah blah. And she's like, why are you circling me? Were you a vulture in another life? So I thought her lines were pretty funny. Or when he buys her like a hideous dress that looks like a tent, and she's like, oh, what are you looking at? I think the whole Russian circus is in here. So her sass is one of my favorite things about her. I think after she gets out of whatever that weird thing she's wearing in the beginning when she's singing Journey to the Past, I think Anastasia is arguably one of the best dressed princesses, and I have to be careful not to say Disney princess because she's not a Disney princess. Like, Odetta is not a Disney princess, but still, some of the best animation I've ever seen. It's so beautiful and so gorgeous. Anastasia is so gorgeous. And her dog is so cute. I want a little dog. That little he's so cute. Oh my gosh, he's so precious and adorable. And yeah. So I really love Anastasia, the character. Dmitri, I have really mixed feelings because on one hand I want to like him because he's the cute little servant boy that saved the Duchess and Anya from the evil Rasputin. If I'm not saying his name correctly, I'm sorry, but that villain is creepy. So he saves them, but then he kind of grows up to be. He grows up to be a con man who wants to find Anastasia lookalikes to convince the Duchess to get money. But when he finds the real Anastasia, and if he still wants the money, but it's like, no, she's the princess, you don't get it, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, you spend all of the time, you spent your adult life conning people, and you forged papers, and I love when Anastasia is in the luggage cart of the train with Dmitri and his friend, I forget his name. She goes, why are we in the luggage cart? There wouldn't be anything wrong with our papers, would there? Like, her sass is just everything. She's, like, so sassy. It's awesome, and it's fantastic. I love it. And Dimitri's like, oh, no. And there's a part on the train where Dimitri's companion or friend, I'm sorry, I totally am blanking on his name right now, even though I just watched the movie. He's like keeping score of Dmitri and Anya's banter, and he's like, Dimitri's 4 and Anya like 600 some. And he's tallying, and Anya has more tallies than Dmitri, so that's pretty funny. Let's see. I think Dimitri's sidekick is pretty good. He's fun and loyal, and he's kind of the more stupid one. And Dmitri reminds me of a watered down version of Gaston. I mean, he's looking to find the Duchess, maybe marry her, and get a reward, and he's kind of a gold digger that way. Gaston wants to marry Belle because she's of her looks and doesn't actually get to know her. But then Dmitri suddenly falls for Anastasia when she changes her hair, puts on a gorgeous dress. The dress wasn't that pretty. It was okay. And then, like, he starts to reform, that when she mentions the part where there was a little servant boy who opened a wall and helped me escape. And then Dmitri really gets aggressive, and I don't know if you would call it kidnapping the Duchess. Does he like what he did when he knocked out that one driver? I don't know if he knocked him out or not. See how well I pay attention? But when he pretended to be the Duchess's driver, and he's like, you're gonna listen to me, and could that be considered kidnapping? Did he basically kidnap the Duchess? He's like, look, I know you don't want to listen to me, but I'm not stopping until you listen to me, and just, your granddaughter, or Anastasia, the real Anastasia's here, and she's like, yeah, I've had enough Anastasias for one lifetime, and then Anastasia is packing her bag, overhears Dimitri's plan to collect the reward money. Which, honey, I want that reward money. Like, whatever that is, give me a cut of that. So, can you give me a cut of that in American dollars? Because I want that money. And Anastasia is like, go away, Dmitri. And then Anastasia and her grandmother have a beautiful reunion. Oh my gosh, it's so awesome. And I was getting like Julie Andrew vibes from the grandma, just from physical appearance, and it was just awesome. And Anastasia, in a way, reminds me of Tangled, or Tangled should remind me of Anastasia, because Anastasia came first. Because she's the last princess. Rapunzel's the last princess. They both have gorgeous tiaras, and like, when she looks at a picture of the royal family, and Anastasia looks at a picture of a royal family, and they look like that little missing girl, and coincidentally, and I put air quotes around coincidence because it's not a coincidence, they really are the missing girl. But no one seems to recognize Anastasia. It's like, yeah, you look like that little girl in the picture. Same with Rapunzel. It's like, you look a lot like the queen and that little girl in the picture. And they're like, I am the long-lost princess. And it also reminds me of the movie Barbie Princess Charm School, where the main character, Blair, is actually the long-lost princess. So, yeah, there's just a running theme of long-lost princesses, guys. Like Blair, who is actually Princess Sophia from Charm School. And I just thought it was pretty cool. Like, yeah, your birthday aligns with this. Yeah, so Dmitri I'm kind of about. Anya and Dmitri's romance is kind of... It doesn't feel like there's... They just went from, oh, you saved my life a few times, oh, you put on a pretty dress, now I love you. And I didn't take the money, even though that makes me a good person, and I've had a change of heart. And Anya had every right to be pissed at Dmitri, but it's not like they took the time to grow and actually become friends. Kind of like how I think an animated couple I actually believe is Rapunzel and Ryder, because Ryder didn't fall for Rapunzel immediately because of her looks. Ryder didn't fall for the princess knowing she was the princess. It's something that naturally happened, and he grew to he fell in love with her, and he grew in love with her. Where I felt like as Dmitri and Anastasia just were like, oh, hot boy, hot girl, bam, let's put them together. And Dimitri's character development felt a tad rushed. So that couple is kind of a couple. But now let's get to the villain. Rasputin. I don't know how you pronounce his name. I'm sorry. It's kind of a hard name to pronounce. But, he is just one of the creepiest... He is probably... No, he is nightmare fuel for small children. I mean, the part where he enters the castle, and of course green smoke means you're a villain. Because that's just how it works in animated movies. It's mostly in Disney movies, but again, this is not a Disney movie. But anyways, he enters the castle and basically kills Anastasia's family. And he's power hungry, because he's kind of like a Jafar type villain who is a king's most trusted servant, I think. Please help me if I'm remembering this correctly. And then, because he's so power hungry, he sells his soul. And the scene where he's selling his soul, like, he's... Like, they literally... His skin is ripped off. And he's just nothing but a skeleton, and then he's reformed. Not reformed. He's remade, kind of. I don't know what you call it, but, like, his skin is getting pulled from his body, and his skin and muscle are being pulled from his body. Like, you actually see that, and he's bone, and then he gets it all back because he sold his soul to be more rich and powerful, and then he's partly dead and limbo, so he's between heaven and hell, so he can't really leave a certain place, and, of course he has a dumb little sidekick who is a bat. Of course, the sidekicks are total kiss asses to their villains. But they're really nice people underneath who just go along with what the villain is doing. So I don't really understand why villains have sidekicks, unless it's to, like, for villains to boost their egos. The sidekicks are just there to boost the villain's ego. But it's just, he is such a creepy villain. They did a really good job. And they say that some things are too graphic for children. But his death was like, again, the skin and muscle being ripped from his bones, and then his skeleton disintegrates and just blows away in the wind. So he basically got cremated alive, if you can even say he's alive, because during the movie, the scenes they did show, his mouth is falling down onto his beard, literally. Like, his mouth isn't where it should be, and then the bat has to stick it back in place. His hand comes off at one point, and he's just like, like a creepy villain. And the villain's song was pretty good, actually, even though I don't really remember it because I only focused on 2 songs, but who cares? And Dmitri's, who is a greedy little bastard, and till towards the end of the movie, because, you know, he's got to be reformed, and he's like a watered down version of Gaston, but at least, unlike Gaston, he has somewhat of a moral compass. And my favorite song of the movie was Journey to the Past because of the message in the song. Once Upon a December, because it was Anastasia and her grandma's song, and just when Anastasia is singing the song, I mean, the visuals are absolutely gorgeous. So I like that song because of the visuals, and the singing was really well done. And who else? I like the reunion between the grandma, Anya, and her grandma, which was gorgeous. And the part where, the song where she's learning how to be a duchess, it kind of reminded me of when Dmitri and his friend are teaching Anya how to be royalty and how to be, act how a princess should act. It reminded me of the scene in Barbie in the Princess and the Pauper movie, where Erica is pretending to be Annika, and it's not Annika. I think it is Annika, actually. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, too. And her friend and Annika's best friend is teaching Erica how to be a princess. And so that reminded me of that. Dmitri and Anya eloping, I'm kind of just meh about. But overall, I really did love this movie. Oh wait, I forgot to mention one of my favorite lines from the movie, because they're mostly from Anya. She's like, "Oh, you really think I'm royalty?" "Why, yes, I do." "Well, then quit bossing me around." Her sass is just, I love her sass. I love the songs in the movie. The visuals of the movie are so stunning and so gorgeous, and they still hold up well to this day in 2019. And I love the ending credits because I love the cover versions of the songs because the songs are just gorgeous. And for those of you who don't know, Aaliyah, the singer, who died in a plane crash, of course, has a cover version of the song Journey to the Past, and I've just been really obsessed with that song. But anyways, the movie was awesome. Beautiful and gorgeous, as I keep saying, and I feel like I'm a broken record now. And if you like this video, like, share, and subscribe. leave a comment down below, and have a good one.